Welcome to our channel, where we update the most dramatic, fascinating stories and unsolved mysteries from the world beyond the gates. Here, you will be immersed in the most thrilling developments, shocking secrets and surprising predictions about the fate of your favorite characters. Let's explore each detail, each piece, so as not to miss anything that awaits ahead. On the bright sunny days, when the atmosphere is filled with laughter and happiness of the approaching wedding, no one could have expected that fate would prepare such a cruel turn. At the ancient villa in the suburbs, where Bill and Hayley are preparing to hold their wedding, every detail is taken care of to perfection. The pure white flower garlands stretched along every path. The soft yellow lights blended into the evening sky, and the sweet whispers of love seemed to bring them into a new chapter of their lives. But fate always has a way of disturbing things that seem eternal. Dani, the person who took on the role of wedding organizer, was also the one who had imprisoned herself in painful years after losing her newborn daughter more than 20 years ago. That wound has never healed, and even though time has passed, it still smolders in her heart like a cut that cannot be healed. She always carries in her heart a haunting memory. Her baby disappeared at the hospital just hours after birth, and all efforts to investigate have fallen into a hopeless void. Since then, Dani has lived in the coldness of a mother who has never been able to hold her child in her arms. While helping Hayley try on her wedding dress, the light from the glass window gently fell on the young girl's skin. Hayley's right arm revealed a dark red teardrop-shaped birthmark, lying on its side towards the wrist. It was not just a random birthmark. It was a special mark that Dani had never forgotten, a rare birthmark that the doctor had noted when her daughter was born. Dani's heart seemed to stop beating at that moment. Her hands trembled, a feeling of dizziness invaded her whole body. A fear and hope simultaneously arose, tearing at her mind. She told no one. For the next 2 days, Dani silently collected Hayley's DNA sample, hiding her every move as if she were entering a life-or-death investigation. Every hour that passed, her heart was tormented by doubt and extreme anticipation. The test results arrived via encrypted email, and when she read the confirmation that Hayley was her biological daughter, her world came crashing down. A storm of emotions swirled through her: joy, shock, pain, loss, all mixed together like a chaotic song with no ending. And Hayley, a young girl who grew up in the love of another family, never doubting her origins, suddenly found herself pulled into a strange reality, where everything she believed in was shaken. When she learned the truth, Hayley felt like her entire past had been stolen. She was confused about who she was, whether her adoptive parents' love was real, how to accept a strange woman as her dead biological mother. And worse, she didn't know if her wedding to Bill still had any meaning when everything was falling apart. Bill is confused as he watches his soon-to-be-wed daughter sink into a hopeless crisis. Dani is torn between wanting to hold her daughter and the fear that she will lose Hayley forever if she hurts her in this fragile moment. Those around them cannot fully comprehend the depth of the shock that both women are facing. Each is drawn into a whirlpool of memories, unanswered questions, and the stark truth that suffocates all hope. Dani cannot stop thinking about the time she lost her child. She goes over every detail in her memory, as if searching for a reasonable explanation for that horrific event. But the more she thinks, the more she discovers the shady spots in the hospital records, the unidentified nurses, the deserted hallways where she walked through the middle of the night looking for her child. It seems that someone has orchestrated everything. And as her suspicions simmered, Dani began to follow the trail. A missing file, a doctor who had mysteriously transferred, a man who had appeared at the hospital that night. All of the pieces of a puzzle suddenly came together in a dark picture. Someone had stolen the baby. Someone had destroyed both mother and child's lives. When Dani finally gets to the bottom of things, the truth becomes even more horrifying. Hayley's adoptive father, the man she always respected, was the one who bribed the nurse to switch the baby. Everything good she thought about him was a lie. His reasons for doing it stemmed from his obsession with his wife's inability to have children, and his greed for the perfect child. Hayley has no idea, but now the truth is destroying her life. Hayley is faced with a painful decision: continue with the wedding when she still doesn't know who she is, or postpone everything to find herself. And while she has yet to make a decision, an anonymous letter arrives. The truth doesn't stop here. You only know part of it. There is someone else behind this. Fear spreads once again. Is what Dani discovered just the tip of the iceberg? Who is really orchestrating this whole tragedy? And why is Hayley the target? No one knows. But the chains have been set in motion. Someone in the shadows is watching Dani's every move, Hayley's every emotion, and the actions of everyone involved. And they won't stop until the truth is finally revealed or until everything is buried forever. Dani lives in a state of confusion and obsession. Every night, she can't sleep, her mind constantly replaying the moment she saw that birthmark, the DNA test results, and Hayley's broken eyes when she learned the truth. From the overwhelming joy of first receiving her blood, Dani is quickly drawn into another vortex, where not only is her motherhood threatened, but her life becomes more fragile than ever. Unusual signs began to appear around her, first with silent calls in the middle of the night. Then a strange car parked in front of her house for many days in a row, then a torn doll placed in the mailbox with the scrawled words, "Let everything sleep." Dani knew. She had touched a truth that someone wanted to bury forever. In the darkness of the past, there was more than one person involved in the baby swap. She followed the new pieces all the way to the hospital where the baby was born. Medical records were erased, some pages were pulled out, there were signs of replacement. An old retired nurse living in the suburbs was the only one who remembered anything. She said that on that night, a strange woman wearing a mask and a white blouse entered the neonatal care area, carrying fake documents, then disappeared after a few minutes. No one questioned her, as everyone believed it was the night shift doctor. But now that she thought about it, she insisted she had never seen him before, and never would again. Those words prompted Dani to dig deeper. She went to the hospital's old archives and discovered the name of an obstetrician who had been briefly suspended after the loss of her child. The man then went into private practice and strangely withdrew from the medical community. When Dani sought him out, she was harshly rejected. But his panicked eyes and trembling hands betrayed him more than any confession. Not long after, he was found dead in his own apartment. The cause was initially thought to be suicide. But he left no suicide note. Public opinion was silent, and Dani was once again buried in the vortex of danger. At the same time, Hayley begins to receive anonymous letters. Childhood photos of a child she never remembered. In one photo, she is wearing a pink dress, standing next to a young woman who is not the foster mother she once knew. The photo appears to have been taken in a small apartment, with a cracked wall behind it and an upside-down picture frame. A handwritten note on the back reads, "I don't belong to them." Doubt begins to gnaw at Hayley. She no longer knows who to trust, what is real and what is fake. She begins to withdraw, refusing to see Bill, refusing all plans for a wedding. She feels like a puppet in the hands of anonymous people, and worse, her own body begins to react to the prolonged stress. Hayley fainted one morning, was rushed to the hospital, and there she discovered she was pregnant. The news made everything even more confusing. Hayley now carried not only the burden of her identity, but also a new life growing inside her. A life she had to protect, even when she herself did not know where she was going or where she was going. The news of the pregnancy hit Dani like another blow from fate. The pain of losing a child had not yet healed. Now she had to witness her child continue to enter a life full of danger and dark secrets. Bill, despite the pain, still does not leave Hayley. But his heart begins to rise with suspicion. He notices the distance between them growing. Hayley avoids his eyes, hides her thoughts, and seems to be hiding something from him. Their love begins to waver, as trust is no longer intact. Bill turns to Dani, trying to understand what is happening, but he himself is drawn into strange things. He receives an anonymous email with a video of Hayley being carried away in the hospital years ago. The image is extracted from a surveillance camera that has been reported as data lost for 2 decades. From a fairy tale wedding, everything turns into a nightmare that has no way out. Dani, Hayley and Bill are now the three main characters in an unexpected tragedy, where the past, present and future are intertwined like a maze. But all of that is just the tip of the iceberg. The remaining pieces of the puzzle are still hidden in the dark. A new figure emerges, a woman who claims to have been a nurse on the night of the baby's disappearance. She leaves behind a letter, saying, "I was just following orders." The mastermind is always closer than you think. Dani knows that to protect her daughter and unborn grandchild, she must go to the end. She must bring light into the darkest corners of her past. She must force those who played a role in this tragedy to reveal themselves. No matter the cost, she will not back down. In the final days before everything explodes, Dani breaks into the home of Hayley's adoptive father, the man she has determined played a role in the swap. She finds a room filled with files, photos and documents of other adoptions, all of which show signs of being staged. But the most surprising thing is a special file with Hayley's name on it and the caption, "Subject 07, transfer plan interrupted. Must be destroyed at all costs." The caption sends a chill down Dani's spine. It turns out that Hayley is not just a stolen baby, but also part of a larger plan, a social experiment. A series of intentional baby swaps, serving an organization that has yet to be revealed. And the real mastermind, perhaps, has yet to be revealed. As Dani steps out of the house, an unmarked car silently follows. A sniper places a scope on her forehead. And in a split second, just one long decision, all the truth will be buried forever. Thank you for joining us on our journey to discover the deepest secrets of Beyond the Gates. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us so you don't miss out on exciting stories, never before revealed predictions, and unexpected twists in the next episodes. All the mysteries are waiting for you to discover, and we will always be here, accompanying you every step of the way. See you in the next videos.